Welcome Hats campers. This is the pre-camp out video for the 4th grade new member camp out, and we're going to tell you everything you need to know to get ready for this camp out and what it's going to be all about. This one is happening in Camp Clawson, Oklahoma. I am Charles Triplett. Along with my son Raphael, we'll be directing the first boys camp out, which is October 3rd through 5th.
I'm Caroline, and this is my dad Sam, and we will be directing the camp out on October 17th through 19th.
And for those of you on the October 10th through 12th, the girls camp out, that will be directed by Weldon and Ellen Bailey. All our directors' emails and phone numbers are in the participant packet that you will print out from the website where you got this video. There's the same place where you found the link to the video will have a link to the participant packet. And feel free to reach out to your director team with any questions that you might have prior to the camp out. Now let's talk about the Hats mission. Everything we do in Hats is fun. Our camping is a huge adventure. Everything's a lot of fun, but it's not just about fun. We're mission driven, and our mission is
growing relationships, communication, and leadership through adventures with our dad.
And everything we do is oriented towards furthering that mission, helping you grow your relationships. We also have themes for each camp out, and the theme for this camp out is what is Hats all about? And that's the point of the camp out, just to let you know what Hats is like and what it's going to be like as you progress through it. So when does our adventure start? It starts today, now that you're watching this video. You can start planning your menu, shopping for your supplies. You can start packing and thinking about your goals for the weekend together. It's really good to start a few days ahead of time rather than on Thursday night at 10 o'clock. You want to plan better than that. What are our goals for you this weekend? We want to give you 48 hours of quality time with your daughter or son without any distractions. We want you to learn more about Hats and the fun ways that we spend these weekends camping together. We want you to learn the importance of skills relating how to trust others, learning how you can decide how to trust others, and how you can become trustworthy to others, and how to use that relationship between father and son, father and daughter as a model for those trusting relationships. We've got a lot of activities planned for this adventure weekend. There's not a lot of downtime. It's kind of one thing after another, and that'll be the way Hats campouts are, throughout the rest of your career. It's going to be a great weekend. Sam?
One of our big rules on Hats campouts is the 18-inch rule. As you heard earlier, growing your relationship with your son or daughter is fundamental to our mission here at Hats. And every activity we do on this weekend, you're going to be side by side with your son or daughter. And that is very intentional to build your relationship together in this adventure. Dads, this is also a big part of keeping each other safe. We're going to have a lot of activities, and they're all going to be safe, and they're going to be fun, but when you're side by side with your son or daughter, you are also there to safeguard their safety. And daughters and sons, the same thing goes for you. You're also there to watch out for your dad, and in this partnership with your dad, you're going to work together in all the things you do this weekend, and it's going to be a lot of fun. One question you'll hear us ask at the beginning of any safety talk is, where does safety start? It starts with me.
Okay, so some more on safety. So not only does safety start with me and we need to stay with our dad or our daughter or son, but it's really important to have some safety precautions in place that you can control. For example, we really need to be drinking a lot of water. Even though it's October, it's still going to be really hot out there, so we recommend drinking at least 2 to 3 liters of water every single day. And you'll probably need more because of all the sunlight. And with the sunlight, we need to wear lots of sunscreen. I can definitely get burnt, and that can for sure ruin a camp out. So pack lots of sunscreen. We'll be outside all day in those UV rays. And if you have any EpiPens, inhalers, other medication that could be more major, please make sure that you tell the directors and your safety teams, just so that we can be fully aware, and that you have those with you on that adventure. The nearest facility for any medical care is Arbuckle Memorial Hospital in Sulphur, Oklahoma, and the info for that is also in the packet. We have safety mentor teams who are prepared to take you to that hospital, and our safety teams are fully qualified to take care of you. They went through our training program called Wilderness First Aid Academy, and they will have their first aid kit, their phone, their car keys, and their car parked with them, only for emergencies, to make sure we can take care of you quickly and efficiently. We want to make sure that we can maintain our HATS mission, and the only thing that trumps our mission is safety. That's why our safety team is fully dedicated to safety the entire weekend to watch out for you. So if even there's a little tiny cut or scratch, don't be scared to go talk to your safety team. They want to keep y'all fully equipped and ready and excited and able for this adventure. Another thing we want to make sure we have is closed-toed shoes. There's lots of stickers and bugs and lots of things on these campouts, so you want tennis shoes or hiking boots, not sandals or flip-flops or Crocs or any of that. We want closed-toed shoes to stay safe.
Now, let's talk about weather. HATS is an all-weather camping organization, and we don't cancel our campouts because of weather. Sometimes weather is a big part of the adventure. You might think that you want perfect weather for camping, and it's great when that happens, but I will tell you that the most memorable campouts are when we've got some kind of weather event, you know, super rainy, or it's super windy, or it's super cold, or it's super hot. And I'm telling you, the kids remember those campouts and talk about those campouts way more than they talk about the campouts with perfect weather. We have safety protocols in place for every type of weather. We are watching the weather, so you don't have to. We will be monitoring it on our phones. And if there's any chance of severe weather, we've got a team in Dallas that is watching the weather too, and will notify us if they see any kind of developments. But on the campout itself, the safety team will have their phone, as Caroline mentioned. You do want to bring good rain gear, not just the simple flimsy plastic ponchos. Good rain gear, pants and a parka type top. Frog Togs are an inexpensive versions available at Walmart and Academy that are pretty tough and serviceable. If it's super rainy, having galoshes, rubber boots, that's also super helpful too. You want to make sure your tents are staked down with good stakes, and what I mean by that is usually even expensive tents come with really terrible stakes. They're like coat hangers bent into loops, you know. They're not any good for anything, so you really need to invest in some better stakes. And again, Walmart, Academy all have better stakes than what comes with your tent. You want to stake out both the corner poles and guy lines if we're having any kind of wind. We can show you how to do that. Our mentor leadership team can show you how to stake out your tent if there's wind. And we are going to be away from the campsite on Saturday. We'll be out hiking a bit, so you want to make sure that you have everything secured in case there is wind that comes up. If you bring pop-ups, like pop-up canopies to put over your kitchen gear stuff, those are super convenient, and I get it. But if we have strong wind, they're super dangerous because they can come unstuck and fly through tents and tear everything up. So you definitely want to make sure you stake those down and use guy lines on the corners as well. Make sure they're really secure. Again, if you're not sure how to do that, ask a mentor. Yeah, the main thing is you just want to be prepared for the weather. If it's cold, because it could be in a few weeks, we will give you an email a few days before your camp out, and we'll have a better idea. When we're closer to the camp out, we'll have a better idea of the weather. that'll make it easier to plan. But basically you want to think of layers, because you are going to be outside all day long. So you want to be prepared for layering up so that in the morning when it's cooler, you can be warm, and then as the day warms up you can take your layers off. Also think of synthetics. You really don't want any cotton at all, basically. It's kind of the rule. Cotton, when it gets wet, is just worthless, and it takes forever to dry out, and it doesn't keep you warm anymore. Synthetics or wool will keep you warm even when they're wet, and they'll dry out faster. So you might have a base layer, a synthetic base layer, synthetic long sleeve shirt. Then you could have like a fleece pullover over that, and if it's colder, you could have a puffy jacket over that. The other thing is you are going to have your cars. You can use your car like a locker, basically a storage locker. So if there's any chance that it's going to be cold, you can bring your heavy coats, like ski coats, and just leave them in the car if you don't need them. And you can go get them if you do need them. The weather changes. So we want you to be comfortable. We want you to have what you need to be comfortable. So if you're thinking you might need it, just bring it, and you can have it in your car. You definitely want a cap for your head, a beanie or something if it's cool. No blue jeans, as you said, because those are cotton. Let's see. Sleeping in cold weather. If it gets cold, there's some things you can do to stay warm in the tent. First of all, the tent itself, if it is going to be a cold camp out, the bigger the tent, the harder it is to keep warm. So think of a smaller tent. If it's like a 2 or 3 person tent, your body heat will warm it up. But if it's like an 8-person king dome tent, it's not going to happen at all. So that's the first thing to think of. Smaller tents, easier to keep warm. Then comes the sleeping bags. You can double your sleeping bags if it's really cold. So you could have 2 inexpensive sleeping bags, put one inside the other, and that will be like having a more expensive bag. But you can get bags at Academy or Walmart or off of Amazon for $30. So you can double bag. You can also just bring blankets. Again, car camping. We're not backpacking on this camp out. So car camping, you can have wool blankets in the car or comforters or what, just bring extra blankets, and those work great in a tent. What I also like to do if it's really cold is you lose a lot of heat through your head, so I'll wear a beanie at night. And I also, if it's really cold, I'll put a buff on for my throat so that my throat is covered. And you can even pull that up if it's super, super cold, and be fully covered at night. And that will keep you super warm.
Yes.
Another tip that I really like is having a pair of warm socks just for sleeping at night. You take off your socks during the day that you've used during the day, they're going to be damp. So you want dry, warm socks at night. Your feet get colder than any other part of your body, so that's super helpful. And then in the mornings, I really like these half gloves. So when you're getting up and it's cold and you're preparing breakfast, you need to be able to feel stuff with your fingers, but these will keep your hands cold. So those are kind of my tips for cold weather. Y'all have any?
Yes, so I do like to double bag. I have a really cheap, thin fleece bag. It's basically a fleece blanket that I put in my sleeping bag. And on really cold campouts, in addition to double bagging, we'll put another sleeping bag over the top of the 2 of us together to kind of share the heat.
Like unzip it.
Unzip it, spread it out
yeah.
like a blanket. Or of course you could just use a blanket too.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. And as Charles said, we're basically car camping, except that our cars are going to be parked away from our tents. So it does not hurt to bring extra blankets, extra pillows, sleeping bags, whatever. I mean, we will be bringing a spare tent in case someone has a problem with their tent during the night. So don't feel bad about bringing extra stuff. Especially on your first camp out, you're learning the Hats way. It's great to have extras.
Now another thing for really cold weather is the heater buddy. And these are heaters that are specifically designed for indoor use. So there's different brand names, but I think Heater Buddy is like the most most popular brand. Whatever, if you get one, two key things you've got to have. One, it's got to be rated for indoor use. That's critical.
Yeah.
And two, it's got to have an emergency shut-off valve if it tips over.
Yes.
So that means if it tips over, you kick it over at night, it automatically shuts off. Those are the two critical things regardless of the
Yeah.
brand.
Also, you need to have lots of space around it in the tent.
Yeah.
You know, how much? Like 2 feet, I would say, between the
Yeah.
heater in the wall and the heater in your sleeping bag.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've melted a few sleeping bags or two. Another tip you can do is if you have some hot hands, you can keep hot hands in
Yeah.
your palms if you're cold, or just throw them in your sleeping bag and they'll kind of warm things up for you. That's really comfy when
Yeah.
it's cold.
Those are really easy too.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Okay,
Absolutely. All right, schedule.
schedule.
So the schedule, please try to arrive by 7 p.m. Friday. That will give you plenty of time to set up your tent and get all your things arranged. We'll start activities around 8:30 p.m. If you're not fully set up by then, it's fine. You can, after our activities, you can finish setting up. We'll have mentors available that can help you set up a tent in the dark. No problem at all. We're glad to help. But we do have some announcements to do Friday night and some fun games for everybody to play. Saturday morning there will be a 7 a.m. wake-up call, so you don't need an alarm. And you'll have a good hour before activities start at 8 a.m. to get up, get dressed, you know, use the porta potty and make breakfast, all that. At 10 a.m. we're going to go for a little hike away from our campsite and do some games, and then we'll be back for lunch at the campsite and then leaving again in the afternoon for games and back in the evening. So because we're not going to be at the campsite all day, you'll want to bring a backpack, bring plenty of water, bring a snack, your rain jacket, you know, anything you might need. That backpack will be great for when you shed a layer as it gets warmer. You can put those jackets in the backpack. So very practical to have. And Sunday, we will also, I believe, have a wake-up call at 7 a.m. And again, 8 o'clock, we'll be circling up, have activities and games. We will be completely done with our schedule by 11:30 Sunday morning. We're really strict on that because we know everyone has a lot to get back to, finish out their weekend. If for some reason you have to leave before 11:30, what? Please tell your director and they will work it out with you. We don't want that to cause an extra distraction to the other campers, so please let us know. And absolutely do not leave without telling your director that you're leaving. We'll be camping at the YMC Camp Classen in Oklahoma, so you can type that into your map, YMC Camp Classen. It is about 2 hours from the North Dallas area, outside of Davis, Oklahoma. There is a map in your packet, so definitely have that printed out in case you get out of cell phone range when you turn off the main highway. That on some of our campouts is very useful. As you get closer to our campsite, you will notice HATS signs directing you. That is really nice when we turn off highways and farm to market roads onto the dirt roads, and then we're in the camp and you're still trying to find your way around the camp. Look for the HATS sign. There'll be a left, right, or straight ahead sign for you.
All right, this is my favorite part. Let's talk about food. Okay, so on Friday, when you're driving down to get ready to set up by 7-ish, get dinner on your own. We usually pick it up. Our tradition is Chipotle, whatever works for you. Pick up food on your way or pack it. And then for Saturday, you're gonna wake up, like he said, at 7 a.m. and then you'll have a full hour to cook your luxury breakfast. So you're gonna do team breakfast at your campsite. Think eggs, pancakes, bars, oatmeal, something simple, but also good enough to fuel your whole day. So lots of protein. And then for lunch on Saturday, we'll be back at the campsite, but we want to keep it quick because we're gonna have a lot of fun activities to do. So stuff like sandwiches, chips, wraps, beef jerky is my personal favorite. Anything like that is a great option for Saturday lunch. And then for Saturday dinner, we do something super fun at Hats where we do a big community fire pit. So we're gonna all dig a big fire pit and then put some grates on it, and then you can bring whatever meats you want, veggies you want, to just put up on those grates, and we'll all circle up around that, and it'll be super yummy. So hot dogs, hamburgers, steaks, chicken breasts, any of that is super delicious over the fire on Saturday dinner. And then on Sunday breakfast, it's gonna be the same thing, breakfast at your campsite, same kind of meals. And then for Sunday lunch, you're gonna have it on your way home because we'll release you no later than 11:30. So once you pack up, get on the road, you can eat your lunch on the way home.
All right, so equipment. Our equipment packet will have a list of recommended equipment, but I want to mention a couple of things here. 6 gallons of water, 3 gallons per person. We want to drink lots of water, avoid dehydration. Also have extra water available for washing your hands. We also like to bring Gatorade. I alternate between Gatorade and water through the day. And dads, a little recommendation to encourage your daughter to drink more water, have ice water, or her favorite flavor of Gatorade. You know, if she's not used to drinking water, it's going to be a hard sell to get her to drink 3 gallons in a weekend. So like with the food, bring what she likes, bring what you like. Frog togs or rain gear, rubber boots, not ponchos. Again, we camp in all weather. It may not rain a drop, or we could be out there and have a surprise thunderstorm. So just be ready. I always bring an extra pair of shoes just in case we find ourselves walking through some mud.
Yeah,
so you can have some dry shoes Saturday night or Sunday morning. An 8-pound bag of self-lighting charcoal. Again, self-lighting charcoal. You know, we're going to have this big community fire pit, and we don't want to wait an hour for it to, you know, be ready. We want to be able to light those bags and have it ready fairly quick. 3 sticks of firewood. So after dinner, when everyone's done cooking on the grate, we'll pull off the grates and we'll put firewood on top of the coals and have a great little campfire to do activities around. If there's any change, like a burn ban, then we will notify you for the camp out, and so we'll have a plan for how that might change cooking Saturday night and what we'll do instead of a bonfire. So be watching for that. Probably won't happen, but it could. Again, layers of clothing is great, day and night. It'll be colder in the morning and warmer in the afternoon, so just be prepared. Have that backpack ready to shed layers and put it in. Have extra stuff at night in the tent, extra layers you could throw on or extra blanket, and you know, have the space to push it to the side so you can cool down if it's too hot. You'll need things to cook with, Coleman stove or something like that, your tent, 2 chairs, sleeping bag, etc. A hat and sunscreen. It may be cloudy, but still you can get sunburned when it's cloudy, so wear the sunscreen. Moms are not happy when kids come back sunburned. Trash bags. We're going to pack out all of our trash. So anything around your tent that, you know, from cooking dinner to around the campfire, we're going to pick everything up and take it with us. Trash bags are also useful if you have wet clothes, wet towels or whatever that you need to pack up and throw in the back of your car. It's always good to have something for fun, like playing cards or frisbee or volleyball, football. If we have some spare time around between activities and you want to throw a ball, have some fun, that's great. Or if you find yourself, you know, trapped in a tent for an extra 30 minutes, bored because it's raining, it's kind of fun to play cards or something with your daughter. We have a list of things in the packet, as I said, the equipment list, so be sure to check on that. Many people will bring a Dutch oven for dessert Saturday night. Don't feel like you have to. There's always more dessert than we need. But if you do bring a Dutch oven, please bring some kind of a steel tray or something in case with a burn ban or something we can't put coals directly on the grass. I like to use an old skillet, by the way. That's my hack for the Dutch ovens.
A couple other things I'd recommend. We like to use headlamps. Most people have these instead of flashlights. You can just put them on And what you'll find now, most of them will have red and green light so that they don't attract as many bugs and doesn't ruin your night vision. So those are super helpful. The other thing is in the morning, you might want something to prepare coffee in, and Jetboil is most popular brand. This is a lot lighter than a Jetboil setup. It's got my coffee packets in it. It's got a little MSR Pocket Rocket stove, and this is a fuel canister. So you put the stove on the fuel canister, and this goes on top, and it heats up water for your coffee, and this will heat up in like less than a minute. So if you really want your coffee in the morning, you're probably going to end up with something like this over the course of your Hats career.
Yes.
But in general, what we really recommend, some of you are going to be super experienced campers, and some of you might not ever have camped before, and this is your first time. And either one of those is completely fine. If you're new to camping, what we really recommend is that you don't buy a lot of new stuff. Because you don't really know what you want yet. You don't know what you're going to be comfortable with. So there's no point going out and buying a bunch of stuff. Keep it real basic. Better yet, you are probably here because you got invited in by a family that's already in hats. They will be happy to lend you their gear, I bet. And borrowing gear is a great way to start out. That way you're not buying anything until you get an idea of what you want. On this camp out, you will see different gear setups, different tents, different kitchen gear that will start to give you an idea of what you might want. Some people like to get pretty elaborate, and that's fine. And some people like to be super minimalist and keep everything simple, and that's fine too. And there's all ranges in between. So you need to see all these different setups and kind of figure out what direction you want to go in. And that's being on 2 or 3 or 4 campouts will really help you see all those different options, and then you can start buying your gear. You're going to buy a lot of gear. There's no way around that. You're going to spend a lot of money on gear over the next few years. But it's all for a great cause.
It is.
It is so much fun, and you're going to be building so many good memories. Another topic to cover is something that we call the non-negotiables. Some of you may have come from different camping organizations like Y Guides or Scouting that has different types of rules. We have our own rules. These are ground rules, and they're all about creating the right environment to fulfill our mission statement, to help you build your relationship with your son or daughter. And the other thing to know about these is we didn't just come up with these rules out of the blue. They're not theory. They're in place because these things each happened at a camp out and negatively impacted the camp out. And we decided, okay, we don't want that to happen again. And so we created a non-negotiable. The first one is the 18-inch rule. We do things as a team, father-son, father-daughter team, all weekend long. It's not the case where you've got all the dads sitting around the campfire talking and all the kids off playing together. That's not how we do things. So the 18-inch rule, make sure that we do everything as teams. No alcohol. We're super strict about this because we know there's other camping organizations that allow alcohol, and that's fine, but that's not how we do things here. So there's no alcohol allowed at all at our campouts. We don't use RVs, so don't trailer in an RV. We're a tent camping organization. RVs are comfy, but they isolate you more from the group. No firearms. There isn't really any need for them. We're out on these private ranches. We're not hunting or anything, so no firearms. And they're a distraction. If dad has a firearm, then the other dads are going to want to talk about it and see it and touch it and feel it and hold it and all that. So, no electronics. This is a big one. We want you disconnected for the weekend. Nobody is going to fulfill the mission about building relationships if you're glued to your phone watching a screen all day. In Hats, we very strongly believe that excessive screen time is a huge problem in our society.
Yeah.
And it's something we want to absolutely avoid on campouts. So no electronics, no tablets, no phones. You can bring a camera if it's just a real actual camera that you want to take pictures with. However, we have cameras. We have photography teams that will be taking pictures of you all weekend long. So you don't even really need that. And we post those after the camp out, so they'll be online for everybody to see. No leaving early during activities. Sam mentioned that before. If you have an emergency and you pack up and leave without telling anybody, it will disrupt the entire camp out because we'll stop everything to try to figure out where you are.
Yeah.
So emergencies happen, but you need to tell us if
Yeah.
you're going to leave. And then the last one is don't pack up early. It's tempting on Sunday morning during breakfast. You're eating, you're relaxing, and you think, oh, let me just throw a few things in my duffel bag, or let me roll up my sleeping bag and start getting ready. We really encourage you not to do that. I know how tempting it is, but if you do this, it changes your mindset because you're not focused on the camp out anymore. You're starting to think about what you need to do when you get home. And we don't want you thinking about that. We want you focused. We want you present. We want you present for this camp out with your son or daughter. So we will give you time. We will guarantee that you are out, that we stop everything by 11:30 and give you time to pack up. So trust us. We've done this a long time, and we know what's best here. Those are our non-negotiables. We will send you an update, an email a few days before the camp out with kind of last minute tips, and let you know about the weather and see if anything's changed. We'll let you know. We'll always have that as a feature of all our campouts. We'll always send those out. So make sure you watch out for that. And in the meantime, you got any questions at all, absolutely reach out to your director team, and we'll be happy to answer any questions that you have. Don't hesitate to do that at all. Other than that, I think we've covered everything, and we are looking forward to seeing y'all soon.
Yes, it's going to be a great weekend.
It is. Y'all take care.